power of the heart. Finding your inner wisdom.
The power of the heart.
Finding the power of the
Finding the
heart.
power of the heart.
The power of the
Power
heart.
of the heart. Power of the heart.
让我们寻回新的力量。The
Power
power
of
of
the
the
heart.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Yuru Chao. You are tuning in to the Power of the Heart on Dai Radio. Recently, you probably noticed a lot of reference to the great white ox car if you follow Tzu Chi events at all. This is inspired by a parable in the Lotus Sutra about a goat car, a deer cart, and an ox car. Among the three carts, the Buddha praised the beauty and dignity of the great white ox car in particular, which symbolized the Bodhisattva path. The Buddha encouraged all Buddhists to practice the Bodhisattva path by developing patient endurance to take on great responsibilities and striving forward with perseverance, so as to transform and deliver all living beings. When our thoughts are unwavering, our direction holds true. Remember, every big tree starts from a tiny seed, so we should never take lightly even the smallest of the intentions. In our program today, we'll begin with a reading of Dharma Master Cheng Yan's teaching on life economics, about crossing the challenge every second of our life. This reading is provided by Mr. Colin Legerton. Then, after a short break, we'll discuss this teaching with Mr. Peter Chan.
You are listening to The Power of the Heart on Dai Radio. Tapping into the power of the heart. Finding your inner wisdom. Finding the power of the heart.
Section 2. Crossing the Barrier of Each Second. It is an important Chinese tradition to celebrate the Lunar New Year. Most refer to this time as crossing the barrier into another year. I feel like I am crossing the barrier into another second every day. Thoughts arise in our minds at every second, and each thought may influence the rest of our life. So we should take hold of the present moment and pay attention to every second in order to take good care of our minds and move forward down the right path. Sometimes our thoughts may deviate slightly and point us off the right path. Even the slightest deviation can lead us far astray. But when our thoughts are unwavering, our direction holds true. The barriers of years and seconds. In the past, people became worried before Lunar New Year. For example, employees worried about being laid off, and debtors worried about being forced by their creditors to pay off debts. Since meeting a challenge is like crossing a barrier, people had to cross the barrier into each year. If we feel that crossing into another year every 12 months is full of anxiety and distress, is it not worse to have to cross the barrier into each second? What do I mean by this? We have a tendency to neglect the present moment until we make a mistake. Then we feel remorse about the wrongdoing we committed in that moment, or about hurting somebody or saying something inappropriate a month before, or even years before. If we had not been careless at those moments, we would not have felt sorrow and regret later. At the moment we made the mistake, we failed to take care of our minds, so we feel regret afterwards. For instance, we feel remorse after failing a test. Why were we so nervous that we left so many questions unanswered? Why did we not study harder so that our minds would not have gone blank upon picking up the test? Because we do not train our minds to be calm every second, we lose control and become nervous when challenges arise. We are disappointed in ourselves if we did not accomplish enough in the past, but what is past is gone. If we continue to dwell on the past, angry at ourselves for not training enough, for saying or doing the wrong things, we will lose the present by constantly looking back. On the other hand, if we forget about the past and concentrate only on the future, we ignore the present. I have said, the past is a distraction, the future is an illusion. The important thing is to pay attention to this moment, to the here and now. A certain cause produces a certain effect. If we create errant causes, then we reap bad results. Therefore, to cross the barrier into each second, we must seize the present moment to complete the work at hand, and disregard what the future may bring. We should not speak ill words, commit wrongdoings, or miss opportunities. Crossing a barrier is a positive attitude with which to meet a challenge. We should maintain a positive outlook, otherwise we can easily become lazy and degenerate. Crossing the barrier into each new second is to alert ourselves that we must treasure time. We should race with time to ensure that we do not waste our lives. We must be mindful at all times and brave the challenges of human relations. There is a Mrs. Huang who was still a child when she emigrated with her parents to Sweden. When she grew up, she got married and worked hard with her husband in the restaurant business. She learned about Tzu Chi while watching Da'ai TV. A few years ago, she came back to Taiwan for a visit and came to the Jingsi abode in Hualien. She was deeply impressed and vowed to become a Tzu Chi volunteer. Not long after Ms. Huang returned to Sweden, 2 Taiwanese tourists had a swimming accident there. One drowned and the other was rescued. Since these 2 tourists were alone and far from home, no one knew how to handle the situation, so Tzu Chi headquarters in Taiwan was contacted for assistance. Tzu Chi volunteers hastily contacted Ms. Huang, asking her to help. She was very nervous when she was assigned the case. She had never helped strangers before, and suddenly she was to handle such a major incident. Nonetheless, she immediately changed her perspective. Since she had made a vow to become a Tzu Chi volunteer, she summoned up her courage to take the case. After some searching, she finally located the hospital where the survivor was being treated and offered her comfort and company. She also helped take care of all the issues related to the accident until the survivor and the ashes of the deceased returned to Taiwan. Every big tree starts from a tiny seed, so we should never take lightly even the smallest of intentions. I once read a news report about a tragedy. An Asian man moved to New York City. He was hired by a large company and lived a comfortable life there, but he was laid off sometime later. His thoughts went astray for one moment. He took a gun to the immigration office and took hostages. When the police surrounded him, he shot and killed more than 10 people. In the end, he also killed himself. We should always look inward and reflect upon ourselves. If we always complain and bicker, that is because our thoughts have not crossed over the barriers and we have planted bad karmic seeds. It is unlikely that everyone and everything we encounter in our lives are pleasant, or that every action and every word are to our liking. We should take every opportunity to train and test ourselves with whatever we encounter. When facing adversity, we should try to prevent any negative thoughts from arising, and even feel grateful toward our antagonists. If we do this, we can commend ourselves for having a clear mind and inner peace, and for not letting ourselves be hindered by adversity. We should always reflect on ourselves instead of judging others. When we are displeased with other people's behavior, we must control ourselves and remember that their way of thinking and their actions are only an expression of this particular instant. With this kind of mentality, their words and behavior will not upset us, and we will be able to overcome the barrier of this second and the barriers set forth by our hearts. Moreover, our lives cannot be separated from external conditions. If we always possess a discriminating mind, we will create insurmountable barriers by not accepting certain conditions. For example, in the winter, a cup of hot tea makes us feel warm and comfortable. Yet in the heat of summer, we would immediately reject the same cup of hot tea. This is also a barrier of the second that we encounter in our daily lives. If we always pay attention to the barriers of each minute and each second, then we can safely overcome the barrier of ignorance. As the Lunar New Year approaches, everyone wants the coming year to be a good one, but we must first live our days well. To live our days well, we must lead a virtuous life by doing good deeds often. This is because doing good deeds makes us happy every day. Thus every day is a good day to us, and every year is a good year. 86,400 seconds. Everybody says there are 24 hours in a day, yet I prefer to count my days as 86,400 seconds each. When I pass every second in earnest, I feel fulfilled. It is said, good or bad, this moment exists only for an instant. There is no need to differentiate this moment from that moment. Once a moment is past, it will never return, nor can we foresee what will happen in the future. It is most important for us to seize this very second, because only this instant is real. A wasted day is worth less than a meaningful second. There are 86,400 seconds in a day. If we do nothing during the whole day, that day is wasted. However, if we can make the best use of 1 second, we can at least make good use of 1/86,400th of that day and gain something from it. We must safeguard every minute and every second of our life. Can we accept 86,399 seconds as a full day? Of course not. Every few years, a leap second is added to or subtracted from the coordinated universal time to keep its time of day close to the mean solar time. This shows that we cannot miscalculate even 1 second. We must make each second count. If we live by the second, we will certainly cherish each and every moment. If we live by the day, then we will think that after today we still have tomorrow, and after this year we still have next year. If we are not careful, time can easily be wasted. Indulging in pleasure and comfort is not only wasteful, it may create bad karma from erroneous thoughts. As we know, bad karma will negatively influence our next life as well. On the other hand, if we use time appropriately, we create positive karma, good, healthy seeds. Ultimately, we will accumulate virtues and merits for ourselves. It is with great fortune that we were born as humans in this life. We must understand that time is as precious as gold, yet gold cannot buy time. There was once a boy living in the mountains of Ali Shan who was innocent and studious. Each day he walked for more than an hour to attend school. His family was poor, but he was forgiving and understanding, and he knew how to make good use of his time. Every day after school, the first thing he did was to help his grandmother with household chores. His mother had come to Taiwan from a foreign country to marry his father, but she left after giving birth to him. Still, he never complained. When people asked him why his mother had abandoned him, he would reply with a smile, "Mother had her reasons." He was grateful to his grandmother for taking care of him. Seeing how his grandmother's back gradually hunched lower year after year, he realized that he had to take hold of time to be filial to his grandmother. His grandmother grew and sold vegetables for a living, so he had learned to cook when he was a third grader in primary school. After school, he would rush to prepare dinner because he wanted to have a hot meal ready for his grandmother when she arrived. What a mature and considerate child. The boy's uncle had mental problems. If he came home and saw the boy doing homework under a lamp, he would turn the lamp off and scold the boy for wasting electricity. The boy was aware of his uncle's problems, so he never complained. Instead, he tried to finish his chores as early as possible so he could do his homework before it got dark. Sometimes he had to do his homework under a street lamp. Although he encountered tremendous difficulties, he never missed an assignment. When he was asked, "What do you wish you could tell your mother?" he replied, "I wish I could tell Mother to come home soon so Grandmother wouldn't worry about her." When asked, "What worries you the most?" he replied, "That Grandmother can't sell all her vegetables, because if she cannot sell all the vegetables, she gets very worried." "What is your wish?" "I wish Father would come home so I could cook for him." The child was truly very considerate and adorable. There is a poem that says, "Yesterday is gone, I cannot keep it. Today is full of worries, my mind is troubled." The past is gone and we cannot keep even a second. Today is full of things that bother us. What a regrettable life this is. Why do we not simply seize this moment to learn more good things and do more good deeds? Cross the threshold with equanimity. Living in this world, we are constantly in contact with people and involved in affairs. We cannot always have what we want, nor can everything go as planned. This is the reality of life. Despite this, we should do our best when we are physically capable. We must also take good care of our minds. In doing so, we will not be disturbed or distracted by worldly matters, and we will be able to deal with our ever-changing surroundings. The ability to endure hardship enables us to overcome all adversities. With a joyful and respectful attitude toward others, we can accept their undesirable behaviors or even influence them to change by setting a good example ourselves. In this way, we can cross the barrier of every second. Conversely, if we lack equanimity and regard things with discrimination, we will feel pain and be in constant unrest. There was once a man learning swordplay in Japan who implored a famous master to teach him. He asked the master, "If I want to be a successful swordman, what type of mindset should I maintain? How should I handle myself when an opponent thrusts his sword at me?" The master replied, "If you maintain the attitude of crossing the threshold, you can master the art of swordplay and handle yourself well when facing your opponent's sword." Most Japanese buildings have sliding doors, so a carpenter installs a trough for the two sections of door to slide in. How hard can it be to cross over this threshold? Why is it that merely by maintaining the mindset of crossing a threshold, one can defeat his opponent? We all know that it is quite dangerous to practice swordplay when real swords are used. With a moment's distraction or a small mistake, the swordsman will be injured. It is a matter of life and death. When dealing with life and death situations, we sometimes become so nervous that we fail. The mindset of crossing the threshold is equanimity. If we constantly maintain a mind of equanimity, we can handle any crisis. Occasionally, we will run into difficult situations in our daily lives, but as long as we maintain a mind of equanimity, then at every moment we will be able to cross the barrier of each second with ease. In other words, cultivating spirituality is indeed part of daily life. In 2009, Typhoon Morakot caused severe damage in Taiwan. The grief felt by survivors was beyond words. I am grateful that Tzu Chi volunteers immediately mobilized to bring care and warmth to the survivors. Some of the volunteers were victims themselves, yet they maintained their composure in the face of danger and helped others in need. Ms. Guo is a Tzu Chi volunteer who lives in the Liuegui mountain area. Before the typhoon hit, she came down from the mountain to help out in the Tzu Chi Typhoon Emergency Center. The unexpected windstorm damaged roads and disrupted traffic, and since her husband and parents-in-law were still on the mountain, she was very anxious. Nonetheless, she tried her best to compose herself. At the center, many people were worried sick about their families in the mountains. The situation was chaotic. Miss Guo stepped forward to console and soothe everyone there. She said, "My family is in the mountains too. At this moment we should remain calm and pray sincerely." Her spirit was truly extraordinary. Later, her mother-in-law was rescued and transported down the mountain by helicopter. When she saw Ms. Guo, she kept saying, "I was terrified." Ms. Guo hugged her and patted her back, saying, "It's okay, you're safe." The next day, Ms. Guo saw her mother-in-law leaving the local Tzu Chi office, so she asked where she was going. "I am going to the shelter," replied the mother-in-law. "Didn't you just come down from the mountains yesterday?" She said, "I'm going to help comfort everyone there." This elder was able to let go of her worries and gather her strength to console others. When she saw survivors coming out of the helicopter, or people anxiously waiting for their families, she would go hug them, saying, "In situations like this, we must be strong. I just came down from the mountains yesterday. People in the mountains are all safe." When encountering obstacles, we must not lose our calm, for we all possess innate potential and wisdom. Mr. Chen is a Tzu Chi volunteer in Nantou County. He watched helplessly as the flood washed away his farmland, yet he still rushed to join others in the disaster relief efforts. Someone asked him, "Your tomato patch was washed away by the flood. What will you do?" He said, "Right now it is more important to rescue people. We shouldn't think about anything else." He truly lived by the saying, When we take one step forward, we must lift the other foot from the ground so as to move onward. Mr. Chen learned and practiced Siji's teaching in his daily life. As a Siji volunteer, he understood what time and which talent to use in a certain situation, and the mentality required to reconcile his dilemmas. His story is truly touching.
Hello everyone, my name is Owen Polivka. My favorite Jingshi aphorism is, it feels wonderful to be loved, and feels even better to love. May wisdom and inspiration be with you always.
You are listening to the Power of the Heart on Da'ai Radio.
Our special guest today is Mr. Peter Chen. He graduated from National Defense Medical Center in Taiwan in 1968 and came to the U.S. for internship and surgical residency, training in 1973. That was the year he started practice medicine and alleviate patient suffering. His main specialty is general surgery. Besides practicing general surgery, he also practiced in gastrointestinal endoscopy. For 39 years, he practiced medicine and in charge of surgical residency training program as a co-director at Huron Hospital, Cleveland Clinic Hospital affiliate. In the meantime, he is a clerkship site director for third-year medical students of Northeast Ohio Medical School. Then in 2012, he retired from private practice and became a full-time Siji medical volunteer. Welcome to the program, Peter. Thank you for joining us.
I myself is the Baptist and is really a Christian. And the first thing I'm asked, Master, if I was become your disciple, do you think you can accept me? The Master very, very clearly and tell me, Dr. Chen, if you practice any religion, it right faith, our religion will be the same. Went to Bolivia, and there's a lot of story when we during the assessment sometime in August in 2007, and we relieve with 2,200 family goods, and also we perform a lot of the medical outreach. Some patient walk 5 or 6 hours in order to reach to our clinic and to see our doctors, and that's really strike me in my heart. One of the teachers had a tumor in the neck, want me to have it removed, and because we had a time constraint, finally, but I did perform the surgery. He was almost kneel down on her knee, almost crying, because I said we don't have enough time, but we did take care of it. Report this to the Master, and I thought I was very, very proud, that but what the Master had told me, that he said, I really don't want to criticize you, but I want to say that you are too brave. Now, retrospect, I think I'm too brave, maybe, because there's a lot of things can happen. A lot of unexpected things can happen during surgery. A lot of unexpected problem can come out during the surgery, and also unexpected complication can come after the surgery, which I didn't think that deeply. I think that I learned a good lesson. I think since then, I have been visited Sichuan earthquake, and also 6-7 times in Haiti, and subsequently 5 more times in Bolivia, and recently Tacloban in the Philippines disaster. One thing I learned during this period of time, not only that we perform the surgical medical service, at the same time I help the local physician in Bolivia and also in Haiti to set up their own medical charity work, and everything performed by the local physician, which we are stand on the second line to support them. I think they're the most important, the philosophy Master wants us to carry is teach the local physician, inspire them to do the good work, and also inspire them to come out to help to take care of local people.
Thank you, Dr. Chen. We really want to hear more of your experience, but our time is up today. We'll be listening to this book, Life Economics, over the next several episodes. Please join us next time to continue our discussion on life economics. If you want to read this book we're talking about, you can find a copy of this book in any Jingsi bookstore and cafe. For more teachings from Dharma Master Cheng Yen, please tune in next time to our program. Goodbye and have a great day.
Strokes lightly as the heart soars, wipe away pain, push off darkness, greet the daybreak, catch the sunshine, heal all sorrows, and embrace life. No more failures, no more struggles, just embrace life as it unfolds. The past is over, let it go free, seize the future, hold on to hope. 'Cause you'll never give up, so just choose the past today. A heart of tenderness has the chance from within. 'Cause your dream stays alive, never let love slip away. In this tender world, we had to heaven for us all. Cause you'll never give up, so just choose the past to take. A heart of tenderness has the chance from within. Cause your dream stays alive, never let love slip away. In this tender world, we had a heaven for us all. Brush strokes like lightly as the heart soars. Just embrace life as it unfolds. Greet the daybreak, catch the sunshine, seize the future, hold on to hope, seize the future.